like that's. I mean, you've got all your good ones, like
Eric Clapton's up there.
You've got like Jimi Hendrix.
Eric Clapton.
Who's the guy? I don't think it's Jerry Rafferty, but he did Baker Street. But who's the guy that always like? It almost sounds like someone's singing when he plays the guitar. It's like wow.
That's Clapton.
That's Peter Frampton.
Frampton,
Frampton comes along. Wow, 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 wow.
Yes.
Wow,
Frampton's got a great
wow,
story
wow,
about
wow.
that Les Paul electric guitar. He was in a plane crash in the Bahamas, and lost that guitar and could not play that riff, or somewhere in the Caribbean. May not have been in the Bahamas. But could not play that riff, and somebody on the tarmac that was cleaning up found that guitar, had it for like 20 years, and found Frampton.
Wow.
There's a great CBS Sunday morning
You have so many random music stories that you bring us.
That's a great story.
You bring us great random music.
The guitar that could talk was only one Les Paul that he could play, and once he lost he could never do that again until he got it back.
I always thought it was like, so it's not a thing in his mouth? I thought it was
no,
like...
No, it's his guitar.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. I always assumed he had like a distortion thing. I mean, Frampton Comes... I'm not a big music guy. I used to listen to Frampton Comes Alive all the time.
There also is... the best guitar solo I've ever seen is by Prince. And Prince is playing... I'm going to have to look it up for you, and we'll play it before we get out of here. But it's a YouTube of him, and it's like a collection, like Elvis Costello, Tom Petty...
Just like a mashup?
Of all these guys on stage, and Prince has the guitar solo.
Oh, really?
And it is phenomenal. I want to say it's like a tribute to the Beatles.
Well, that leads into our next question.
It's to Warren Hayes.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Dave Matthews.
Prince.
Live in Central
I'd probably
Park,
have to go Prince there, too. Not a huge Michael Jackson.
But I like
fan.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean,
saw the documentary on HBO, and it totally
I know,
it messed me up. But his music is legit.
If you're not thinking about any of that
just
stuff, if you're just thinking about his
who he
music,
is as a person.
I know, but I'm just musically, yeah. If you're just looking at like
exactly,
yeah. I don't know. I think I'd have to go to Michael Jackson. Like,
no. No.
I
get it.
I don't know what that answer is.
I mean, flip a coin.
Yeah.
They're both great.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go. I mean, I get it. We're separating the music.
No one's gonna think you're
I find it
terrible
hard to
person if you
separate
pick
the
Michael-
music with that Michael Jackson documentary, but give me Prince.
While My Guitar Gently Weeps with Prince, Tom Petty, Steve Winwood, and Jeff Lynne and others on stage, Prince stands out.
A little love for Jimi Hendrix, but yes, everyone.
What is the
Jimmy Page as well?
What is the worst version of the dream where you find yourself in a class for exam you didn't prepare for? I don't know if that doesn't stress me out because I probably did that a ton in college.
Mine were always like football. Like I would show up late for like an actual Saturday football game, which is like like I would like sleep in and be like, oh my god, I'm like that's such an absurd thing. Like you'd be kicked off the team almost immediately. But it gives me terrible anxiety. I had one like 2 weeks ago. I showed up late for a game, and everybody was furious with me. It's terrible.
I had a dream when I was on maternity leave that I came back to work, or like I had to come back for some reason, but I wasn't prepared. I didn't remember where any of the buttons or anything was, but I was doing AFR.
Oof.
I know. And I just, and I don't think anything terrible. I don't remember anything happening in my dream that was so bad, or like Moscone yelled at me or whatever, but I just remember the feeling when I sat in the seat, not knowing where anything was or how to do anything over here, and it was... Whew.
I had a dream that we were starting the show, but there was no audio producer, so I had to bring us into the show, not knowing what to do, opening with country music.
Still don't know how you did that.
So it sounds, yeah, exactly. I know. But Rivers, I'm with you. I kind of have those incompetent dreams too. Like my one is always I'm on a basketball court and I'm on a fast break and someone's throwing me a pass, and no matter how hard I run, I cannot catch up to the pass. And it's a great pass, and I'm just so fat and slow, and the ball goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover, and it's terrible. The other one I have, do y'all ever have teeth falling out of your face dreams?
No, but you talked about those dreams.
Yeah, it feels like my jaw's locked, and I have to reach up and physically with my hand, like, rip my jaw open, and then my teeth just start, like,
those
cascading out
weird.
into my hands.
That's
it's terrible.
Weird.
I haven't been paying attention because I'm looking at the feedback inside the huddle and the Frampton guitar story, and it is a voice box, but he did lose the Les Paul, and I'm just trying to get the story. Okay. I obviously have a nightmare of oversleeping for this show.
Yes.
I mean, like, to wake up and see the clock say, like, 7:03 would be a huge...
We would never let that
Just
happen.
call in.
It happened to me that one time. Before maybe that was even before
No,
Rivers
I was
got
here.
here.
And looking
was
back
here.
on it, you shouldn't have come on the air this morning.
Nah,
That morning.
He was
Why?
fine.
I made it at like 7:03. I got up at like 6:58 and made it.
He just didn't need to
No,
do
but you
the
were so
headlines.
mad. I'm saying like
Oh,
from
I
an
was
emotional standpoint.
yeah. I mean, I was mad
From the
for
radio
sure.
standpoint.
for sure.
I feel like through the commercial, you shook it off. You got back in the game. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I was about to skip it.
Is pumpkin spice a myth? Can you name some other examples of marketing brainwashing? I don't think it's a myth. I mean, it exists.
I mean, look at any American holiday.
Does
but
anyone
guess
here
what?
enjoy pumpkin spice
Valentine's
lattes?
Day cards, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who here likes them?
I don't mind pumpkins as a spice.
I never go
like,
for
at
If
all.
it, if it got colder here, I would probably order it. The heat keeps me away from pumpkin spice,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Most underrated.
You got to
is
be in a
cinnamon.
real fall time.
Cinnamon,
feel.
yes.
Cinnamon.
Yes.
Cinnamon's great for the holidays.
I like
But I think it's all year round.
Oh, really?
I like a good like Christmas
I can drop
allspice, which is like cinnamony and like nutmeg, the whole thing. What's up with Ica? Lots of talk about him in spring, no talk about him now.
Apu.
Yeah. Just not. I mean, I don't know. Not ready. I guess not ready to play consistently on this level yet. Which is not. It would have been more surprising, I guess. Well, maybe not with what they were saying, but just in a vacuum, it'd be more surprising for a freshman nose guard like that to come in and just be ready to dominate and play a lot from day one. Now, that's kind of how they position him, so that's where expectations went. But it looks like they maybe should have stayed in a more, he's a true freshman, 18-year-old type of place.
Looks like he had a setback early in the season with an injury. There was reports that he left the Georgia Southern game in a walking boot, and you haven't heard much since then.
Okay, so maybe it's injury-related then.
Maybe this one's a good one for me to ask everyone. Going on a long trip, what's the worst thing to forget at home? Hit me with all your stuff.
I mean,
so I
your
can
ID.
International
Your
charger.
idea.
If
Your
you're
idea
going
is
abroad.
Charger. Yeah, so I have chargers, so I feel good
Charger
about that.
would be,
I have
But
the
the
international.
adapter
Yeah, I
for
have
the
the
international
Yeah,
stuff.
but you can
Those-
buy that once you're there. You can buy
They're
that.
so
expensive. They're
expensive
very
when you get
expensive.
over there.
Yeah, I know, but still, I'm talking about what's your real worst case
Passport?
scenario? Yes, like it's got to be like.
You wouldn't make it out of the country without it.
Yeah, that's true. Or what if you lose it? I've had relatives lose it
Ugh.
while they're on the trip,
That makes me itch.
which is not
like that.
good. There's a lot of crap you got to do to get back in.
But let's say you're in the United States. Like, what's the worst thing to like leave home and forget?
License.
Yeah.
I guess you can't get on a plane.
Identification, yeah.
Without a
Nobody
license.
kills the
You actually
bachelor party.
can. I've done that. I've lost my ID in Vegas and I had to fly back. You got
You're
to
parking
go
at the
through,
airport. Realize? Oh, never mind.
You have to
That's
go
a
through
stupid
the
one.
security. Like you have to say, "Hey, I don't have any identification." They have to take you to a room
Yeah.
and ask you all sorts of questions
Yeah,
about
did
yourself.
that in New York.
Um,
I guess if you didn't bring underwear, it'd be pretty bad.
if LSU is in the same scenario against Alabama as North Carolina was against Clemson, would you go for the 2-point conversion?
On the road versus Alabama with that offense, with Joe Brady calling plays.
I'll never say no to it. I'll never hate
with a
it.
chance to win the game. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Even like I know that the logic behind a lot of these decisions are, oh well, you're the worst team, so playing overtime it's not good for you. You should just go for the win now. I just like the logic of just going for the win. I
Yeah,
think that there's
me
something
too.
to be said
I
for
agree.
we control our fate. I don't care if I'm better or worse. We're going to go for the win. So I would absolutely applaud LSU. That said, it is not like the Clemson North Carolina dynamic where clearly Clemson is better long term. So you want to avoid overtime. Like LSU could go either way with that decision, but I'm always down to just go win it.
Come out and run that stretch option, and we'll be waiting for you at the airport.
Call better play. Call better play for
yeah.
sure.
Which is better, Nestle Strawberry Quick Powder or strawberry syrup with milk? I got an easy answer for you here. Neither.
Give me the
What's the
options
difference?
Again? Give me the options.
The strawberry quick powder or like a strawberry syrup?
No,
when
I
you
always
put
like
your
the
milk?
syrup. I was never a big strawberry guy, chocolate, but still go with the syrup.
I don't drink milk, so
Really?
it's weird.
That is
It
strange.
doesn't taste good.
I wasn't into milk for a while.
Makes me dairy
What
makes
do you
me.
eat with cereal?
If I eat cereal, I'll do milk,
Okay.
but I don't. I
Water.
just mean
Little
like
caveat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like
Water.
just drink a glass of milk.
Scotch, Nathan.
There you go.
I've gotten more into milk ever since we had the baby. We kind of
Yeah.
avoided milk for a while, but now we got whole milk all the time. So
get it.
like
Yeah.
some Oreos sneak into the house. I did for the first time in my life the other day. I did some Oreos dipped in peanut butter, then dipped in milk. And
Lord.
That's
wow.
very good.
They were so good, dude. And you know what though? I noticed I'm getting old because we got regular Oreos instead of double stuff for the first time in years.
That is an old man.
And I
buy.
was like, these are better. Like these regular Oreos are way better. There's too much in the double stuff.
Oh, too much cream?
Too much cream. No longer into it. I like classic Oreos again. I've grown up.
A man of simpler taste.
Yep. Don't even get that mega stuff the hell up out of here.
No, you don't need to be going for that.
That's a marketing ploy gone bad. Though. That's on you, really, for buying.
Last question: which member of the crew would you be least surprised to lose their mind waiting at the DMV?
Nathan.
Oh yeah, just
Jordy.
go take a,
Well, I mean,
take a
I think that
machete
I
out.
would be I would be
The obvious answer.
Yeah, I guess the least surprised. Yeah.
We have the. Yeah.
I guess so.
It is really surprising.
I guess so.
Me and Jordy both have tempers.
Wait, you say you and Jordy?
Yeah, I
Yours
think
is
that,
different though.
Yeah, I think that Jordy's is a little more Italian. He might go.
Yours is too polite. You would never
That's
lose it on
true.
someone at the DMV. You'd be too embarrassed.
You've got the rich kid temper though. Like if it were to go bad for too long,
Do you know
come
who
out.
I am?
He's got the bratty temper.
Do you know who I am?
He's got the bratty temper.
Have you heard me on the radio?
I don't know if I agree with that. I think I just have the rage temper, where
Yeah.
when I lose it, then
If
I
you ever
really,
look at me again and make a gesture while I'm asking you a
then
question,
I
I will freak out and break your
really
face.
lose it.
But then he walks back in the room and he's fine.
Look, sometimes you
I'm
got to
sure
make
the cop will
sometimes
take
you
well
got to
with
make a
that.
statement. A statement needed to be made, and obviously you remembered it, so it was made. So it worked.
What's the issue with the line? Who do I need to speak with to get up the front?
This is all referencing the worst fight that OTB ever had, which was in the middle of our first ever Joe Brady interview that you all loved. And we were breaking down behind the scenes in
And
the
we
studio.
still had more of the interview left.
Yeah, no, it was in the middle. Yeah, because we brought it back for the next
I think
segment.
we recovered really well.
I was in the commercial. It got crazy,
We're
man.
nothing if not professional.
Loud F-bombs going on in this
yeah,
third
we're all
floor.
good though.
We're
We're all
nothing if not
good though.
professional.
We're all
Like me
good.
and
We
Jimmy
love each
Chest
other.
Hair.
Chill out.
The first day me and Chest Hair discovered Periscope, we went live for a fight.
I heard
it was
that.
like one of those things. You know,
But
you gotta
yours wasn't on
create
Periscope,
interest.
wasn't it? Wasn't it Derek and
No. It was Derek's Periscope and me and Chest Hair's fight.
Really good. Love it.
All right, I got this Frampton story for you. I'll clean it up when we come back.